Okay, Dennis, we are rolling live for
Right.
our fairly impromptu coverage here of the FPA New York Media event, being kindly hosted, as you might be able to see up on that ticker symbol, by Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, absolutely.
How
Glad to be
fantastic
here.
is this?
Absolutely.
So we have with us Dennis Moore, who is currently the COO and the interim CEO
That's right.
of the FPA National Organization.
Yeah.
Dennis, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chuck. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
so this is a really cool event. So this is actually a media event sponsored or kind of put on by the FPA,
Right.
FPA New York City, hosted by Yahoo Finance. So thank you, Yahoo Finance, for this. And I love the FPA, as you know from our previous conversations. And what we like to talk about on goRIA is one of two things. How can I go RIA? Why should I go? And what I tell folks all the time, please go to goRIA.com. A lot of great content, videos, webinars, podcasts. But I have to say it's still second to joining organizations like FPA. The community and being able to talk with real advisors that just went RIA, I think that's some of the best advice you can give. So talk to us a little bit about what opportunities advisors have that are not yet part of the FPA to join. What do they get out of it? Media events like this, but learning things about the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. And I've been part of FPA since college. Joined the student group at Texas Tech and been a volunteer leader my entire career in a couple different chapters. And then, recently joined the FPA staff and as you said, now COO and interim CEO. But yeah, at FPA, we pride ourselves on being compensation neutral, business model agnostic. We believe that financial planning can be provided in a variety of different ways and business models as long as it's transparent and in the best interest of the client. All that being said, there is a lot of interest on the independent side, right? And people really looking at that. And and I can kind of speak to this from personal experience and growing up. I grew up in FPA, and in my roles prior to FPA, prior to joining FPA on the professional staff, I used FPA for just that reason, the community.
Yeah.
Like that was one of our big, that I found value in FPA, and it's still a big value there. And where that community comes from a variety of areas. We've got chapters all across the country, 70 plus chapters. So people can plug in wherever they're at. And then we also have national events, 4 different conferences throughout the year, online communities, different things like that. And we both said community a few different times so far. And that's really what it is. So you find people, like-minded people that are doing planning the way that you're doing or that you want to do it, business model, whatever it may be, and you can learn from them directly. I started out working on, getting involved on committees, before moving on to the board and different things like that. And it was just so helpful to me to see the perspective of others, right? Because even within RIAs, approaches are different, team structures are different, philosophies are different. And so it's one of those deals where you can go out and actually talk to people in person at events like this and learn how they do it. And again, not that it's to necessarily replicate it exactly, but you can take bits and pieces back, implement it at your own firm or whatever direction you're wanting to go, and make sure you find the fit and the culture and the approach that you're wanting to do.
Absolutely. And something else I want to kind of toss into this, and this was something that was really shocking to me when I went to my first FPA National Conference, and it's the following. So the presentations were great, the keynotes, the breakouts, but what I got most of my value from was the in-betweens.
Absolutely.
Right? Talking to these advisors, and this was while I was still in the broker-dealer world, and I was thinking about going RIA. So I was talking and trying to find as many advisors as I could find that already made that journey. And I found a ton. And what I thought was really interesting and shocking to me is how transparent they were, how willing they were to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like to the point of almost like trade secrets. Like they were incredibly transparent. And I think that's a real credit to the community that you guys have built there. That must be something you hear a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. Those hallway conversations, right? In between sessions, over lunch, at receptions. One of the great things I love about financial planning is that we're a helping profession. So not only do our planners and our members help their clients, but they help each other. And so it's interesting. They're technically could be competitors in the same space.
Exactly.
But very open and willing to talk through how they moved into the business model that they're in, how they transitioned to a new tech stack, whatever it may be. very open to do that. And that's what a lot of our conferences are. It's a lot of peer-to-peer learning and really trying to share how they made it to where they are, and at the same time still learning from everybody else. So yeah, those hallway conversations and just helping each other, it kind of sets us apart, I feel.
Super valuable, and especially too, for me, when I was coming onto the IBD space, and the IBD space and the RIA space are like kissing cousins. They're very similar. In large part because they tend to be very small offices, right? You certainly have some very large IBD OSJs. You certainly have very large RIAs. But a lot of the IBDs, like I was, it was just me and my partner, two of us, kind of living in this island. So to be able to get to a national conference, to local events, and talk with other advisors that were so willing to share, that was incredibly valuable for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you just broaden your perspective.
Yeah.
And again, everybody's so willing to share and to do that because they're also learning from you as well. And so that's the other thing. So don't feel like, if you do go to one of the chapter events or one of our national events, you have something to bring as well. Your background, your perspective, and everybody wants to learn from you also. So it's a two-way street.
Yep.
But it is, especially in those smaller offices, it's good to get out and see how other people are doing it, kind of broaden the horizons and getting some other perspectives. Again, not to necessarily mirror it or mimic it completely, but you can get some nuggets that you can bring back and implement.
Without question. Okay, so I know we're coming up on time and you're about to do a talk as well, so I appreciate you taking some time.
Absolutely.
But let's talk a little bit about what exactly are you guys doing here? Because this is all part of that media training that you guys do that I went through about 4 years ago, and I thought it was incredibly valuable. Talk about what we're doing here today with the media and then also Media Source.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, so Media Source is one of our great benefits for our members. It's a platform that connects journalists and the different industry papers and everything to our members. And whether a story's coming out on a specific topic or something else like that immediately that's in the press right now or that's coming up, it's a way for those journalists to connect with our members directly. And what we're launching later this month, early next month, is a revamped Media Source to kind of streamline it a little bit. So for those that have been involved with it, you'll see a few enhancements. For those who haven't yet, I'd encourage everybody to check it out. It's a really unique tool. And so what we're doing here with our FPA of Metro New York is doing this media training. And Ben Lewis, our Chief Communications Officer, is doing a training and getting everybody familiar with Media Source and kind of how to interact with the media, because that's an art in and of itself.
Without question.
To do that. And having a panel of guests to really kind of interact and help our members be able to get their story out and get their subject matter expertise out to the consumer. And so that way they can, impact society, impact consumers, and make again, a helping profession. And how do we do that is by getting the word out through Media Source, through journalists, and things like that.
All right. I tell you what, I think that's a good place to put a pin in it for tonight. So Dennis Moore, thanks a lot for taking some time.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. All right. So this is just the kickoff of our fairly impromptu coverage of the FPA Media event here in New York City. I'll be back with a few more guests. What's a little bit different, normally we do this from morning to afternoon. Now we're doing it from afternoon into the evening. So maybe our latter guest, we might be here with some cocktails. Anything can happen.
Right.
It could be craziness. We'll see. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be back real soon. Thanks for joining us, and Dennis, thanks again.
Thank you.